Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news and see what's coming up this week. And then talk about killers and gear and things that you can use to get ready to face some of those trials that are coming up. And this week we have lots of Final Fantasy VII stuff. As you can see here, we have the new units Cloud Strife and Avalanche's Barret coming out, which we have talked a lot about from the live stream and the Beige Carpet live stream review. So we're not going to go into too much detail about them. We've probably already heard a whole lot about them. They do have a really nice step up that only costs you 25k. That does get you Cloud's fragments on the banner, which is pretty cool. They have a curated pool of premium units that are in the banner, which is kind of nice. And then there's kind of like a regular step up with like tickets and tokens that you can exchange for Barret's fragments, but not Cloud's, because Cloud's premium, but his fragments are on the banner, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's Cloud. He does lots of damage, especially thunder damage. Kind of cool. Barret's a tank. Not a whole lot more to say about that right now. Want to just try and keep moving forward. So let's talk about the events. So there's really 3 pieces of content that are coming out this week, and they're all housed on this banner here, the World of Visions. Battles begin in the city of Mako. Now I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and get to these other 2 first. There's 2 other events. The rematch atop the pillar. That's the that is the first thing that I want to talk about. It is a unit upgrade event. This is a new type of event where they give you a unit, and then they give you a bunch of specific upgrade materials for that unit. And so this one is for Reno, the Final Fantasy VII remake version, which we've already been given a bunch of times, actually 2 other times. So this will be your 3rd time getting Reno. He's the Final Fantasy VII Breaker unit, and you're going to get a lot of materials to upgrade him to level 130 and boost all of his stats and stuff like that. So cool. There he is, free unit, Reno, and you're going to get his fragments by beating up Reno. He's a human enemy that resists ice, wind, and dark at 50%, lightning at 100%, and then has weakness to fire and water at 20%, and you can use all the breaks you want. But basically you're just going to go in and farm this event over and over and over to get all the upgrade materials for Reno. If you want to use him, that's where you're going to get them. The other one that you have here is the Turks Play for Keeps. This is exclusive to Final Fantasy VII units, which is pretty cool, but also potentially challenging depending on how they do damage. And they are 2 enemies, both Reno and Rude. Now, Reno has the same weaknesses and resistances that he has on the rematch atop the pillar fight. So again, fire and water at 20% for weakness, resisting a bunch of different elements. And Rude has resist lightning, water, wind, earth, light, and dark at 50%, but no weaknesses, which means that fire is kind of a safe element to go with, because Reno is weak to it and Rude is not weak to it or resisting it. So fire is good to go. Probably going to be bringing Cetra Descendant Aerith, who we are getting for free as a login reward, because she does fire imbue and fire support and LB damage buffs, which is pretty cool. If you need a tank, you can probably bring the NVA Barret. He's pretty bulky and beefy, so there's that. If you want to just do Mirage Evasion, you can probably bring Red 13. Lots of different options for doing fire damage and evasion and things like that. So it just kind of depends on what they do, but we'll kind of get more into that on Thursday as we play the event and figure out what they do live on Twitch. So that is those 2 pieces of content. Now this is just an EX fight. You only have to go in and do it 1 time. If you can get all the rewards done, awesome. Go get you some Master Crowns, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Now the other big piece of event though is the World of Visions event, and I'm gonna scroll back into the top so you can see what we know about this so far. So we see that the first 5 levels come out on Thursday, and then the next 3 levels come out 2 days later on Saturday, which is kind of cool. They tell you to aim for high scores and get amazing rewards. Now what we know is that this is shared rank 1, because ranks 1 to 1000 get 10,000 Lapis. So whenever they have a shared rank 1, the Vision World scoring looks kind of like this. Where the first 4 levels are 1 billion damage cap. Level 5 is a 2.06 billion damage cap. Level 6 is 4.1, and level 7 is 10.737. So those are kind of the target scores you're aiming for, as well as doing a 100 hit chain, 6 effective hits, take less than 20,000 damage minimum or maximum. Don't die and just beat the fight, and that'll get you a rank 1 on every level, unless they change the scoring for this one because of like global stuff. You know, it could happen, they could change the scoring, but this is usually how it goes for shared rank 1 Vision Worlds. Kind of cool. So then the next question is, what are the bosses we're dealing with? So we have 7 different bosses. I'm gonna scroll down to show you these. We see these names here. Where are the names? Here we go. We see the names here. So the 3C Soldier is a human weak to fire. Abzu is a beast weak to fire. Hell House is a machine weak to water. Specimen HO512 is a demon weak to light, specifically light magic. This is the only fight in here that is like magic specific, is the Specimen. Kind of cool. Rufus Shinra is a human weak to fire, lightning, light, and dark. The Arsenal is a machine weak to ice, lightning, water, and wind. And then the final boss, which everyone really worries the most about, is Whisper Bahamut. Is a Reaper, has no inherent weaknesses, which means you can bring whatever you want. So if I can get into it, I'm going to go ahead and show you what team I'm trying to plan on bring, and we'll see. It does depend a little bit on the boss's AI, but I don't think this is going to be that hard because you can bring whatever team you want. And as we start getting more and more units with 150% amplifies, it's going to be easier to put together a solid team of really good damage dealers that focus on one element. But there you go. You want to farm out and get a bunch of, you want to bring good bonus units to farm out these bosses once you get your perfect scores and start crafting the gear. Let me show you the gear too, because there is 6 pieces of gear you can craft. We're going to start with the Wrecking Ball. The Wrecking Ball is a 180 attack, 200 defense, two-handed weapon. It's a fist, and it does give you defense 50%, LB damage 50%, and equipment defense 50% when you're double-handing, which is kind of cool. The Iron Maiden is attack 60, defense and spirit 45, gives you boosted attack 50%, and 50% Reaper Killer, which is relevant because we have a Reaper enemy to fight. Very cool. Protective Boots, defense 55, spirit 45. Also nullifies stop, which is a unique property, pretty cool, and boosts equipment defense by 50% when you are single wielding, which is what we're doing with the Wrecking Ball. So that's 100% right there. Very, very nice. Good items to pick up. Nullify stop is important. The Circlet is an accessory, not a helmet or a hat. And you see that with the ring right here. MP10, magic 70, and gives you 50% magic and 50% magic true double hand. Very rare. The Sonic Strikers is a 247 attack glove that gives you human and Reaper Killer. And then finally, the Power to Challenge Fate is a big Reaper Killer buff for Final Fantasy VII units. Single target that auto casts at the start of the fight. Kind of like Zohar Access 5 for Xenogears. So you want to craft all these, get all your materials, and craft every single one of these items. That way you can do well in Vision World and beyond. So yeah, very cool. It shows you all the characters that get bonuses, bonus currency and stuff like that. Mainly Final Fantasy VII units, and then some kind of random ones at the bottom for 5%. You don't want to bring those if you can. You know, try and find a farm team that can clear all this. Now, in addition to Vision World, we also have the story continuing. I'll go ahead and show you that here, which just means free Lapis. Yay! And in addition to that, we're also getting a new piece of equipment for Runda. If you go to the Heroic Quest, we get Runda's blaster here. Defense and Spirit 160, and gives him an 87% AoE defense break, or attack break rather. So that's kind of cool. Doesn't really need it, but he has it now. Awesome. The other thing to pay attention to is that there are a ton of upcoming free summons. So if you look at the Final Fantasy VII Remake free weekly 50 summon, we are getting 6 of these. So that's 300 units coming your way over the next 6 weeks. That alone is awesome. And then we also get the login bonuses for Cloud, which is where we get the Aerith on day 1, which is awesome. And we also are getting a bunch of other stuff according to the live stream, lots of daily summons and things like that. So definitely get it. Make sure you log in over the next several weeks. Get all your free stuff. Now, with a final boss that is a Reaper, it's important to talk about Reaper Killer, and that's really the only one I'm going to focus on tonight. I'm having some internet issues at home, and don't want to do a whole bunch of fights, but I am going to show you a fight that's going to get us some Reaper Killer. You can get Reaper Killer in a number of different ways. Undead Killer Plus from the Doulahan, Undead Killer and the recipe for Undead Killer Plus from Doulahan Basic, Reaper Eater Sense from Stroper, which is the one we're going to do tonight very, very quickly and efficiently. Conquering the Fear of Spirits from Scorn of the Ancient Hellbringer should be extremely easy. Excuse me, extremely easy at this point if you have the near units or have friends who have the near units. You should be able to get Ancient Hellbringer done very, very quickly. Lots of TMRs and STMRs give Reaper Killer as well, but we're focusing on trial rewards, so we're focusing on Reaper Eater Sense because it is 75% for physical and magical Reaper Killer. Pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and show you the team that I'm going to try and get that with, and then we'll talk about the team that I'm planning on taking to Vision World as well for the final fight, and we'll get into that. So if we go to Nemesis, 12 types takedown, and Stroper, here we go. The hard version, difficulty 460, has Reaper Eater Sense here, which is a pretty good reward. Here is the team we're going to take. I'm going to try and find a good friend. Where are you? EMK. I told you I would eventually take you, and here's the team we're going to take. Let me get this out of the way here. And I'll pull up the new and improved gear screen. Check this out. Ta-da! So here's the team we're going to take. We've got a Sylvie, we've got a Tulian, we've got a Roberta, and we've got a Tsukiko. 3 of them are not wearing any gear at all. And Tulian is just wearing a bunch of MP because he's level 1. Okay, this is the level 1 Tulian. Never been upgraded, never been enhanced or anything like that. And all he's wearing is the headdress for MP and MP cost reduction, Calming Garb for MP, Vidar for his big Imperil, and Tulian's Gauntlet for a big break. Other than that, he's just got MP. So you can just fill him out with whatever MP stuff you want. Go get his story rewards, and a level 1 Tulian is going to help you beat the Stroper. And our main damage dealer, our only damage dealer, is going to be EMK's Chizuru. So here's EMK's build. Really, the only form that matters in this fight is the shift form, and your shift form is geared for True Double Hand maxed out, Stone Killer maxed out, LB damage maxed out, exactly what we want to see. And this Chizuru is EX3, so we're good to go. Has everything you would really want. The only thing I'd recommend putting on here that would be any different would be the Clash of Wills clothes, just to get more attack. But honestly, this Chizuru does just fine. Should be able to take this fight out. So just grab you a good Chizuru, friend. And if you've got, I will say the only one you need EX anything on is Sylvie for a Stone Killer buff. If you don't have Sylvie, bring anybody else with a Stone Killer buff and you'll be fine. But yeah, EX1 Sylvie does this just fine. And MK, thank you so much for your Chizuru. You didn't even know you were setting them up. And here we are. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and take this out really quickly. Sylvie is going to shift to the shift form and do Gravel Egg for Earth Imbue, Cracked Stone on Chizuru, and I've got your back on Chizuru. Tulian is going to Heltane Grip, Jord Kicks, and I'm the one true hero just because it doesn't cost any MP. That's a huge Earth Imperil and a big defense break, which is nice. Roberta's going to use the LB for LB damage buff and stat buffs. And then Tsukiko is just going to Omamori for an Imperil, which I don't think we really need, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. And then Earth Consecration and Earth Mandala for an Imperil Field. And then we're just going to let Chizuru do her thing. Use the LB, chain by yourself, do all the damage. Thank you, have a nice day. MK, you did it. Solo killed the Stroker. With a little help from your friends. But you still did it. My Tulian's no longer going to be level 0 or level 1. It's kind of a shame. But look at all that damage you did. Now he's level 6. Okay. So there you go. That'll get you Reaper Eater Sense, and that'll help you get ready for fighting Reapers on Thursday. Actually on Saturday, because the final fight doesn't come out till Saturday. So let me go ahead and show you the team that I'm thinking about taking to the final fight. I don't have them fully geared out yet, but if you go into Dark Visions, you can kind of start preparing your teams. And this is the team that I'm going to be taking. Go to parties. I'm planning on taking this team here. So Lilith does a Reaper Killer buff, which is nice. Tsukiko does Light Field and Light Imperil. And then these three are going to be my main damage. So all three of them have a 150% light amp, and it's probably going to be massive overkill. These two are going to be chaining with Extreme Nova, and then Serge is going to be just dropping a really big Imperil and capping really hard. So that's my plan, is to just use those three as my main DPS. And then if I need a bigger Imperil, if we're not doing enough damage, I'm going to swap Kaito out for Kuja. And that's gonna be my plan for a rank 1 clear in Vision World, is these three. And then if Tsukiko's breaks are enough and we just need a bigger Imperil, we'll swap Kuja out. Lilith is going to be chaining as well as doing Reaper Killer buff, so she'll be included in the damage as well. So I guess we're really gonna have 4. Tsukiko's gonna be chaining bolting strikes. You know, it's whatever. So in that sense, Kuja might be a better fit anyway than Kaito. But yeah, no Golbez here. Just a bunch of 150 light imperils or light amps. And noted that they are all 3 time limited units that are light focused, so they're gonna do pretty well. I believe. Serge also does a light boosting field effect, so we're gonna use that too in conjunction with the Tsukiko field. So hopefully that does get us there. What's gonna be the determining factor is what else the boss does. We always have to play with what the boss's AI does, and I don't know what that is yet. We're gonna figure that out on Saturday. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And if we need to make adjustments, we will. But that's kind of what I got for right now. I'm kind of worried that my internet's going to just like die out here any moment, because we've got a storm going on that is messing with the internet. So I'm going to go ahead and call it for right here. But in the meantime, I hope you're looking forward to some Final Fantasy VII content and get your teams ready. Go after some human killer for the main events, and then you're going to need human and machine, beast, and Reaper really for the rest of the fights. But that should get you taken care of, and go out and get you some Reaper Killer in particular, because that's the big fight we have coming up on Saturday. Until then, we'll see you Thursday, and be good to each other. Take care. Stay warm, dry, safe, well-fed, all the things that you need to be to make sure you're healthy and taking care of yourself. So yeah, until then, take care. See you later.